Hello, this is Steve again. I'm going to do a layout update, basically Labor Day weekend 2025. Been working on the scenery in this top deck. I'm just doing a panorama of it. I have roughly 100 feet of scenery on the top deck, and I've done about 50% of it, about 50 feet. So I'm going to start here on the right side of my layout, from this helix, which comes up from the first level. This is new. I have done this corner on this Reading Catawissa branch, which is the town of Lofty, Pennsylvania, which is the high point of the line. So I've gotten most of that scenery all pretty well roughed in. So I'll kind of do a little start here. The train comes off the helix from the first level. It's going to run into this cut, which I put in. And the cut is all finished. I've got some farm animals in. So this is standing at roughly eye level. The upper deck's 60 inches high. The lower deck is 40 inches high. So the train comes this direction. It's going to come to the first switch of the Y, which was at Lofty. And I'll back up just a little bit for a better look. Again, some farm animals and so on. And here's the rendition I did of the village. It has several houses in it. Has a road in it. I haven't put in the railroad crossing signs, but that's kind of a high-level view of the town. In real life, sits at an elevation of 1,500 feet above sea level. This is not really a direct representation of the town, but I did as close as what I could. This is the depot there in the section of the main line between the Y tracks. Have a water tank here. So of these structures, some are commercial, some are Kitbaster scratch built. That's a commercial plastic structure I built. The gray one there, I scratch built out of styrene. The yellow two-story there, I scratch built years ago out of cardstock and wood. And this is a German kit of some type, I believe, of a small bungalow. And this structure here, I believe, is an AHM kit with a double porch. I can't recall, I believe I may have scratch built this structure years ago for another layout that I had, but I repurposed it as the Lofty Depot. Then this is an Atlas water tank kit, the top half. The bottom half I scratch built basically out of styrene that I wrapped and covered with brick paper. So that's the town of Lofty. It's got a road crossing in it, and shortly after the train goes through that town, it hits the Lofty Tunnel. That's my west portal. Or shall I say, that would be my eastern portal. And I've done most of the scenery here above on the mountainside, coming around, and then this is all stuff I've shown before, so I won't belabor it at all. This is the other portal, and then this is just a recapitulation of what I've already shown on my previous couple of videos. That's the town of Ringtown, and a road crossing. My fill, Ringtown fill, the Schumann's Tunnel, which I've shown before. And I have some animals here. This is the bridge at Mainville, which was filled in with a viaduct years later. And then I've gone ahead and continued the scenery here past this bridge. You can see it's a corner, the track curves. And so what I've done is, like in real life, I've put a fill in, a rock fill here as well. There's the track kind of coming through the fill. try to match to the backdrop, and I put a farm scene here on the top corner here. I just finished this up today. It's got a plastic farmhouse kit and a barn. Which was a kit as well. I don't know the manufacturer, but I've got a road kind of coming through here, guardrails on the side. I've got some farm detail in, some people, barrels, rabbit hutch, I guess that would be. And this is coming from the other side. I kind of have the road at an angle, so that's kind of a high view of the corner here. So I put in that farmhouse scene. Before I leave here tomorrow, I might do a little bit more right here, but that should be fairly straightforward. I've got some static grass, dry fields in there. So I'm real happy. That's really basically about 50 feet of scenery. Now, what I'd like to get done here in the near future, and I've alluded to this will be the town of Catawissa, Pennsylvania, this on the second deck here. And I've gone ahead and set a lot of these structures in where I might put them. A number of these are plastic kits that I've done. There's a couple, that's a 3D printed structure I got online. That comes from, it's an HO scale structure. I don't know who made that. There's a scratch built brick home there. This is a 3D printed bar. I got a scratch built freight house. And then my Catawissa depot, which likewise I built, and a similar water tower. So what I'm going to probably do here, if I back up a little, I'm going to probably have a road kind of cutting behind these two industries, which has a switch to it. I think I'll have the road come down in this area and then kind of run along in the front of the siding. Then I'll probably have a road kind of going right here where I'm putting my hand. And then I'll probably also have a road right here, basically. So 2 track crossings, and that should, I don't think getting that town done should be a whole lot of work, but hopefully it'll look okay. Then we'll cross this Pennsylvania line, the Wilkes-Barre branch. And then, as I said before, I got to figure out how I want to do the Susquehanna River. I'm probably going to raise the riverbed up about 2.5 inches or so. I think that's too big of a drop to effectively get the scenery to look right, and it's probably too high actually in real life. I wouldn't guess the track's more than 25 feet or so above the level of the river, something like that. Then I have to do this corner here. Don't know what I'll do there yet. And then as I come around, so I have about 50 more feet of scenery to do. I will do this section here, probably nothing real spectacular here, it's just a backdrop of trees. I then will have another town to do, which is Danville, Pennsylvania. Don't know how I'm going to lay that one out yet, or even which structures I'm going to use. But I'll do the town of Danville, a station, water tank, and then I should be able to do this arched viaduct here with a girder bridge at one end, and that's over Chillisquaque Creek, and that still exists. The track's gone, and then the track enters the other helix. So I guess kind of what I want to do is get all the scenery roughed in on the second level. I also then plan to, that entire second level is one power block on my DCC system, which I've shown before underneath here. It's deck 2, the first one. And so that's got it. I'd like to get all the scenery in and get it operating absolutely flawlessly. I'll probably end up powering all the frogs and all these turnouts. And then once I get that second deck done, operating flawlessly, I'll go to the next section, which will probably include one of the helixes, and start the scenery coming out of the helix on the first level. So that's just kind of an overview. So what I've really gotten done this time, I've gotten this, basically this corner done with the cut in the farm scene, and then going to what I've already done. We have the bridge here, the tunnel, the fill, the village ring town, and you know, farmlands, the lofty tunnel, and then the top of the mountain, lofty. And I've got that town pretty well done, and I'm reasonably pleased how that turned out. I think it looks pretty decent. I think it'll be fun to run freight trains and so on through in this track. I think it'll be kind of exciting to see them run along it. So second deck, 50% of the scenery's done. It's kind of a milestone. I got a little further than I expected. I was hoping to have what I have done here today done by the end of 2025, and I beat that by 3 months or so, so I'm real happy with that. But I'm going to keep going as I get up here to this property. I'll be able to continue the scenery going this way, and when I do that, I'll certainly give an update. Incidentally, my DCC system right now suffered some kind of failure. It's not picking up from the handhelds at all, so I had to send it in for repair. So right now I'm in a situation I cannot run any trains, so I'm not real happy about that. But anyway, thanks for listening, and I hope you all have a good day. Talk to you later.